This adult coloring book has generated over $150,000 in sales, and this is not a one-off exception. Thousands of people are making life-changing money from selling coloring books online. And in today's video, I will walk you through how to do this from home step by step. From generating the ideas using ChatGPT to using Amazon KDP to actually sell your coloring book to people on Amazon. Now, you can estimate how much a product is made by looking at its reviews. For example, this coloring book has 15,000 reviews at $10 per book. So we know that they made $150,000 in sales minimum. But on average, only 10% of customers will leave a review after purchasing. So this book could have made upwards of $1.5 million if only 10% of customers left reviews. You can also use scouting extensions such as Jungle Scout to get an exact number instead of just estimating, but that costs money and we're trying to minimize costs wherever we can. The easiest way to make money online is by subscribing to my channel. I'm doing a giveaway for $10 in the comments. If you wish to participate, simply subscribe and make a comment. I'll then choose a random comment who subscribed to me to win $10. Simple as that. And here is proof from my last giveaway that I actually sent the money. But now that we've established it is possible to make money from selling coloring books online, how do you do it? Well, first you'll need to start by finding a topic to make your coloring book on. Just ask ChatGPT what some of the most popular topics are. Generally, they will consist of nature, animals, or scenery, or they'll be relaxing, stress-relieving color books in some way. In my particular case, I chose to make the coloring book about cats as they're the second best animal in the world besides dogs. Dogs are far superior. But from there, I asked ChatGPT what the 30 most popular cat breeds were, and I used them for the coloring book. So now we have a base list of what we're going to make the coloring books out of. But we need our product to stand out if we want to generate money and generate sales. This means looking at other similar books and reading the reviews to figure out what people did and did not like. On this particular coloring book, we can see that there is some consensus of what people did like. People seemed to like how thick the pages were, and that there was no bleed through when they colored. Some of the negative reviews were of how the drawing was cut and how some of the drawings were not sophisticated enough. Yes, I said sophisticated. But there's a pretty easy way to fix all of this in our next step. It's time to actually make the coloring books. Luckily, Midjourney AI can help us achieve that. Simply join their Discord and you can gain access to the bot. From here you can type /imagine and a prompt and it will give you images about that prompt. Now, in order to sell Midjourney AI artwork commercially, you need the basic plan, which will cost you $8 every month. And as I'm sure you noticed, there is a lot of people constantly generating images. So if you want to get into a private server, it's actually not that hard. Simply create a new server on Discord by hitting the Add Server button, hit Create Your Own, hit For Me, and name the server whatever you want. Then you go and add the Midjourney bot to your new server by going back over to Midjourney's main server, clicking on the bot, and hit Add to Server. You'll then have to enter some codes and do that stuff, but then you can add that bot to your server. And now you have your own private chat with Midjourney AI, and no random person is going to send images in that server. From here, it's time to actually generate the coloring book images. You will want to do /imagine, and since this is a coloring book for adults, we will use coloring page for adults, mandala, cat image, and then insert the type of cat you want. For this example, it'll be like an American bobcat. White background, clean line, fine line art, and finally, if you want to get the right dimensions, you can add AR, aspect ratio, 2:3. This will set the aspect ratio to 2:3, which is not what's on a normal paper. Normal paper is 8.5:11. But when you're selling this on Amazon KDP, the actual image will be a 6:9, or an aspect ratio of 2:3, so you want to set it to 2:3 right now. You will then get 4 images based on the prompt. If you don't like any of them, you can hit the regenerate button, or if you like one particularly, you can hit the V1 through V4, with V1 being top left and V4 being bottom right. This will generate 4 new images based off the one you select. Once you're satisfied with the image, you can hit U1 through U4 to upscale the image and then download that image. Do this until you have a picture for all the different animals. So just make sure all the images look like they're actually made for adults, which they should, and we can move on to our next step, actually creating the color book. Now we have all the images, but we need to create our color book. Luckily, Canva's there. First, you want to start by creating a template that has dimensions of 8.5:11 or a standard piece of paper. You then want to import your images you got from Midjourney AI and add them to a slide. Make sure it is centered and the right size. Then add a border around the image, leaving some space on each side, and replicate this for all pages. Once you have that done, we now need to address the thickness issue. The easiest way to do this is by adding a page in between every image so there is room and the bleed through won't be as bad. Once you're done with this, we now need to make a title page, a back page, and a glossary. First, let's start with the glossary. At the end of your book, leave 2 pages and add every image to this page and shrink them. Then add a text underneath that image describing the scene, so for example, American Bobcat, and what page you would find it on. 3. This feature will allow the reader to find a specific image they're looking for at the very back, and generally it's just a good idea to have. Now for the cover. We need to create the cover on a separate template, and this is because the Amazon KDP wants the cover to be 17.345 by 11.25. So create that template on Canva, and now we need to head back to Midjourney AI to make a thumbnail. I had mine be a multicolored cat mandala, and then I added the HD feature to it, trying to enhance it. Then again, I added the same aspect ratio of 2:3. Once you find one you like, head back to Canva. The right side of the template will be the front, and the left side of the template will be the back. So add the image to the right side and make sure it fits right. Then add a title and make sure the image and text is easy to read. And then you can play around some with the opacity and backgrounds if you want to make the text easier to read. Now for the back. Make sure the left side is the same color as the right side, and give a quick description of what the coloring book is about and also what the reader will find. You should also add an image as an example of what each page might look like. If you're struggling with any of these steps, you can always go to Amazon to look for similar designs to give you inspiration. Now once you're done with everything, go to KDP and sign in. From there, hit Create Paperback, and then enter details such as language and book title. Then enter a description. Simply go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a description for an adult coloring book, and in my case, I made sure to include that the style is mandala and the theme is cats. Then go on to the next page. On the next page, you will be greeted with an ISBN number. If you do choose to get a free one from Amazon, then you can only sell this on Amazon. So if you want to sell on other websites such as Etsy, you will need to get your own ISBN number. Just know that getting your own ISBN number is a little bit more complicated and will cost you around $100 to $125 to get. But if you are interested, check out the description as there is a link to information on how to get it. Then on the next page, hit black and white interior, keep the trim size the same, turn on no bleed, and glossy cover. Then upload the interior pages, manuscript, and finally the cover. Now the cover must fit specific criteria to work, so check out KDP Amazon Cover Calculator to see how your cover is supposed to be made so it doesn't turn out horribly wrong. Then upload the cover and hit launch preview. Just make sure everything looks right and the sizing is correct. So how much money are you taking home? Well, Amazon takes a 40% cut since it's KDP, but this is better since you don't have to deal with printing it yourself or finding all the storage. Let's assume you sell our book for $10. Amazon would take 40% and you'd be left with $6. Then subtract the cost of print, usually $2 to $3, and you're left with $3 to $4 of pure passive income every time you sell a book. Of course, the government wants its share, but that's for a whole other thing. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are able to find success making this into a business, and I'll see you next one. Peace out.